if we can show people that libertarian, most people don't even know what the word means, but if we could show them that our solutions are realistic and common sense and can help them out in their daily lives, obviously there's, onerous reporting qualifications for business owners. If they have to do it bi-yearly, that just is kind of ridiculous. Maybe
Right.
once a year, but having to report twice a year, it just makes it more difficult, makes life more difficult. And as a business owner, you're dealing with so much. As a candidate, you're dealing with so much day to day. And the government just doesn't make these things easy.
In fact, they make it really easy for you to fail. And
Yeah.
that's one thing I'd like to overcome with education. Teaching voters what their options are, teaching business people how they can better be served. And then, of course, just trying to advocate at the state house for voters' rights. Even if I'm not writing the policy, I can certainly have a conversation in the hallways and try to influence that in some way, which would be super beneficial to have a libertarian in those hallways right now. It is so important to have an advocate for Hoosier voters in that place.
Not just of like everyone in the state, because it sounds like the current incumbent is only in it for himself and maybe his special interests. So and how do you feel about that? Campaign contributions from corporations, from special interest groups, like, is that something that you're able to stand against?
I run a grassroots campaign. Everybody's individual. Every single person who donates to me gets to see the results of that every day when it comes to advertising that we're putting out there for the marketing materials that we've already given out to counties in anticipation of receiving the nomination, and making sure that that goes well, educating them about how important this race is and setting up those future arrangements for that. It is so important to me to kind of give people another option for this. There's been a poll that's come out recently where it's like 50 some percent of people would like, I would so on board with an independent candidate. Well, independents don't get elected unless you vote for them. So put your money where your mouth is and go do those things and make a difference in this world, because obviously what you're voting for is not working out. So let's make a change.
And I think you have a good opportunity there, especially with Rainwater getting 11% when he ran back in 2020. So that's quite a few people pulled the trigger for a libertarian candidate.
And it made a big difference, right? And people were aware that there's a message out there that really represents them. And it's not just part of the two-party machine. And it makes such a big difference to try to represent actual Hoosier voters.
And if you look at what's happened over the years, either the Republicans are in power or the Democrats get back into power, and it goes back and forth and back and forth, and nothing gets better.